Hello lovely crafty people, and welcome to the Sweet November Stamps 2024 Mermay YouTube hop. My name's Amy, and if you join in this YouTube hop this weekend, then you stand the chance of winning all 13 of the new stamp sets. In my video I'm going to be using this Any Fin Is Possible stamp set and the beautiful sequin mix called Soft Seashore Mix. It's gorgeous, there's so many things in it. And I'm going to be making the tail of my mermaid today out of these Nouveau drops. So I'm just going to speed through my colouring here. All of the Copics that I've used are going to be listed in the description below for you. And so are all the other people that are involved in this YouTube hop. So you can hop along to everyone. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe on all of the people taking part in this YouTube hop for your chance to win this entire release. It really is such a fun release, so you're definitely going to want to win them all. I'll leave you here just while I'm colouring, and I will come back to you once I'm doing the tail. So now I'm going to start on my tail, and I'm going to be using Nouveau drops, like I said, to create a really sort of watery looking effect on her tail. I'm just starting by putting down a base of this ivory seashell crystal drop, and I'm going to use a pin just to get that right into the edges. So I'm essentially putting down a puddle of it so that I can then bleed in some of these other Nouveau drops. So this one is called Sprig of Mistletoe, and again it's another crystal drop. And then this one's a glitter drop called Blue Lagoon, just to give it even more sparkle. That ivory seashell also has a kind of pearlescent look to it. So I'm just deciding here what I'm going to do, which colours I'm going to do on everything, and I wanted the tail to look a little bit different, just her end fins there. So I'm going to use just this Blue Lagoon Nouveau glitter drop and cover the whole of her fin with this. And then again, like I did with the ivory, I'm going to go back in with some green in a moment. I've just added this gold in as well because I just thought it needed a little bit of something else. So this is a mustard gold crystal drop that I've put on there. And then again, like I said, I'm just going back in with that green again, this Sprig of Mistletoe, into those glitter drops. And then because I thought it needed to be tied in a bit more with everything else, I'm just putting, again, these Nouveau drops just on her hair in these sort of beads that are in her hair, just quite randomly, so that it's a mix of the colours all the way across it. Now, if you're sensible, don't do what I've done and colour in the shells in her hair first, because this was just a little bit awkward getting around to colour them in. Again, I'm just using that pin here just to take the little tops off of those Nouveau drops, because some of them just had a little peak, especially that gold one seemed to give quite high peaks. So now I'm just finishing off my colouring, and like I said, I'm now having to work around those wet Nouveau drops. So if you do this, colour in the shells first, don't be like me. So here she is, she's all sparkly and gorgeous, and I'm just going to tidy up again just around the edge of my colouring there, just using that colourless blender to get rid of those. Now I had to leave her for a good couple of days. I think I left her for about 3 days, just to make sure that she was completely dry and had dried off. And I'm now going to start doing a bit of a background. I'm going to make her into a shaker card. So I'm just going to here use some tumbled glass and just colour in the background. I've cut out 2 of the same shape so that I can just make a frame with one of them. So this is going to be the background, and I just wanted it to have a couple of different colours of blue on it there. Now I'm just going to literally by eye cut out a wavy line around this other one So again, I've just literally die cut 2 of exactly the same shape, and I'm making my own frame here, just using the craft knife to just cut this bit on the inside out. I use this later as well just to make a little strip to put my sentiment on for the card, so it's all the same colour cardstock, just to tie it all in. And I'm just tidying up the edges here because my craft knife isn't the sharpest anymore. And now I'm just working out, because I picked an awkward die, which way round it's got to go to match up, and that's where I'm going to put her. So now I've just got an old package, and I'm just going to cut that up to use the acetate for my shaker window. It's not particularly thick, so you might, if you've got any proper acetate, you can do that, and you can cut it out using the same die as well, and that'll save you some time. But here I just wanted to show you that there are other ways of doing it, so I'm just drawing an outline and then cutting it out with my scissors, and then I'm going to use some two-way glue to just stick this on. I like this glue because it's like a pen, so I can direct exactly where I want the glue to go, and then I'm just going to stick the acetate down to that, and it also sticks quite strong, it's quite solid. And again, I'm just working out exactly what way round this has to go, because all of those little scallops need to be the right way. And then I'm going to use my foam tape and just cut this off, and I'm actually going to double layer this foam tape on here. You'll see why later, but I started off with a single layer. Then I'm going to put those gorgeous sequins inside it, and then I realised that some of them were just that little bit too high for my little shaker window. So I'm just picking out a couple of them here that I just didn't want in there. There were some round pearls in there, and I'm turning over all of the shells and the starfish just so that the front of them will be at the front of the card when I turn it over, so you can see all the detail on those starfish. And like I say, a couple of these were literally just too high, so I ended up putting a second layer of foam tape on. Again, don't be like me and do this at the start before you put all your shaker bits in, and you'll save yourself some time and some effort, because as you can see, I just keep going back in there as I keep knocking the sequins over, just having to turn them back over again just to make sure they're all up the right way. And again, I realised I'd been turning around my my shaker frame, so again I had to just work out exactly what way round I needed to put that base bit before I could then stick it on. But there we go, there is my shaker all ready, and I am just going to stick her onto the front of it there, again using my Zig two-way glue, and then I will put the rest of the card together, which is pretty straightforward. I decided to use some glitter cardstock just to add a bit of sparkle to it, and I'm just adding in some hand-drawn fake stitching around the edge of this shape, just because I felt like it needed a little bit of something. And I'll tie this in when I do the rest of the card blank as well, just with some stitching around the edge of everything there, just to make it all a bit more unified. So like I said, I'm just going to use some gold cardstock now, and I'm doing that stitching around the edge of this card. And this is a 6x6 card that I'm using here, just a bought card blank. I really love this sort of tealy colour, especially with mermaids. It seems to really lend itself to working with them. I just eyeball my drawing of my stitch lines, but you can do it properly if you want to measure it all out. And I'm now just working out exactly where I want my sentiment, and I'm going to use that Anything Is Possible sentiment from this stamp set, and I'm just using my VersaFine ink to stamp that one out. For my colouring, I always use Memento inks, just because they don't bleed when you use your Copics. If you use this VersaFine for that, it would bleed, but I find that the VersaFine can give a bit more of a crisper finish when you're using sentiments, so I tend to use the VersaFine for my sentiments and the Memento ink for pretty much everything else. And so here we go, I'm just sticking that on there, making sure that it's where I want it to be. And there is my finished card. Thank you very, very much for watching this. I hope this has inspired you to use your Nuvo drops in a bit of a different way. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe and comment, and thank you very much for supporting me. Don't forget you can join the hop to win all the stamps in this new Sweet November Stamp Mermaid release. Thank you.